Hare Krishna. Welcome to our second part of the seminar on the integrated spirituality, how we can discover ourselves and transform our desires based on the understanding of Panchakosha. I want to thank all of you for coming again today, and I want to especially thank and take permission of Yugal Kishore Prabhu. Thank you very much for welcoming me, inviting me here. So yesterday we discussed a very important topic of how the soul, I, is covered by 5 layers. I hope all of you remember that, right? So we discussed how it is like what the Taittiriya Upanishad gives the example of what? 5 caves. You have to go through these caves and then discover yourself. There are 5 layers of caves. What is the outermost layer which we have to cross to discover ourselves? Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya means food body, this body which we see. This is Annamaya, made up of food. And then we discuss this in great detail, that how this body is changing. It is Vikari, but I who experiences the body, I am avikari. Body is Drishya, it is seen, but I am Drishta. Body is Jada, unconscious, but I am Chetan. Then we entered deeper into the caves, and then we found another cave. What is that? Pranamaya. So the Upanishad first says, you are the body. And then you are happy thinking you are the body. Then the Upanishad says, no, Anyo Antaratma Pranamaya. You are not the body. You are the life force, Prana. Then we discussed how the oxygen is supplied in the blood, the food is converted to energy, how there is tiredness, hunger, or thirst. All of these things happen because of the life air in the body, Prana. So we discussed how Prana is actually I. But then the Upanishad takes us further and explains to us how even the Prana keeps changing. So we cannot be the Prana. And then we went deeper and discovered Manomaya. I am the feelings, the personality that we identify with. And then more introspection, we understood that I am not Manomaya also. Then who am I? I am Vijnanamaya. I am the intellect. And then finally, the Upanishad explains I am Anandamaya. But then we realize we are not even Anandamaya. Because that Ananda is also experienced by somebody. So who is that I? Then the Upanishad keeps quiet. Because the soul cannot be known. The soul is the knower. We cannot read more and more about the soul. So Upanishad keeps quiet after telling us we are not Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya. Then we discussed example that the hand that you see, this is Annamaya. But if I lift my hand, that is happening because of Pranamaya. That is Pranamaya in action. And the thought that I have that I should lift this hand, or feel like lifting this hand, that is Manomaya. And the identity that I am lifting the hand, that is Vijnanamaya. And the joy after fracture, your hand is plastered, then you lift your hand, you feel happy. That is Anandamaya. So after all of this, we understood yesterday that how if we really want to experience the soul, if we want to experience spiritual realizations, we have to take care of all the 5 koshas. Because the soul is not, you don't have to go deep into all these koshas to discover the soul. The soul is illuminated by the fact that these pancha koshas are there. What examples we gave for that? Anybody remembers? The wave and water. The wave. We don't have to look deep into the wave to discover water. Any other example you remember? Wood. You don't have to go deep into the table to see wood. The fact that this table is made of wood, so this is wood is there. You don't have to dig deep into the table. So like that, we discussed how we don't have to see the soul separately from these five koshas. If we take care, lead an integrated life, balanced life, we can experience soul realization and connection with Krishna because it facilitates. So today we will discuss how to take care of these pancha koshas by which soul realization is possible. We will take each of the five koshas briefly and then we can have questions and answers and discussions. Everybody is there and everybody has got something to write? Okay. So we'll begin with Annamaya Kosha. So to take care of Annamaya Kosha, see, Annamaya is the outermost covering of the soul. And if we neglect, see, all these five koshas are interconnected. You cannot say that I will neglect body and I will only focus on soul. You are not Raghunath Das Goswami. You cannot imitate the great souls. So we have to take care of. So what do we do? What is devotee? What we do? Annamaya. How do we take care? By eating properly. We can't say, oh, it is all Mahaprasad, so eat anything, anytime. When we are young devotees, we eat and we get away. But as we get older, we have to respect. We can respect Mahaprasad and not eat it also. We can say Dandavat Pranam, Mahaprasad ki jai. Just little tulsi you can take. But sometimes we have bad eating habits and that's why we suffer. So Annamaya Kosha is taken care if we eat properly, consciously. See, what happens nowadays in 21st century, most people eat. Earlier, people used to eat to live. Now we live to eat. Eating is become a way to handle our emotion. Nowadays, people are doing emotional eating. See, our culture is teaching us that if you are stressed, eat. There is a concept called comfort food. People say, oh, the child is crying, don't cry, eat a lollipop. Oh, honey, you're so tired, you should have chocolate. Oh, you are so stressed, please have an ice cream. So the whole idea is that is comfort food. Food is no longer considered as earlier food and nutrition were same. Now food does not necessarily mean it is nutritious. 90% of the food you get in a supermarket is all comfort food, ultra processed. So nowadays what is happening is we are regulating our emotions with food. Actually, we are supposed to regulate our emotions through processing those emotions. But we don't know how to process the emotions, so we eat food. So therefore, nowadays, it is emotional eating. Am I speaking sense? People are eating just for their stress. So we should train our children, we should train ourselves on how to handle our emotional states and how to handle our stress without eating. Like going for a walk. There are many ways of handling stress. Breathing, pranayam, journaling. You don't have to eat to handle stress. Because that creates other complications. Annamaya kosha gets disturbed. So there is emotional eating and there is intuitive eating. What is intuitive eating? You know what to eat, what not to eat. All of us know that, but our intuition we have buried. See, animals have intuitive eating. You seen a cat? When the cat is sick, what the cat does? Cat does fasting. Even if you keep chappan bhog in front of the cat will not eat. Monkeys, in Vrindavan Yatra, I used to guard all the prasadam area with the big stick to protect from monkeys. Monkeys would come anytime in the afternoon for eat the food and we had to defend the food from the monkeys. But evening time, dinner time, there was khichdi and dinner prasad. I didn't have to worry, no monkeys would come. After sunset, office closed. And I would think these monkeys should know this is 10 days yatra, there is big feast, they should come and eat. But they don't care. They don't do overtime. They follow their intuitive body cycle, they know what to do. So, animals follow intuitive eating. Human beings follow emotional eating. So Annamaya Kosha we can take care if we simply learn how to eat properly. We keep feeding. पेट के अंदर सब जाता है, पेट के अंदर सब जाता है, पर पेट अंदर नहीं जाता है. That is our situation. Keep eating, keep eating. I am saying from experience because I go to Grihastha's house, they feed so much prasad. I have to tell them, Baba, ये कमर है, कमरा नहीं है. ये पेट है, कुआं नहीं है. Don't keep feeding. So people think if you love someone, you have to feed them. So our culture is all about eating, eating, eating. But there are many different ways of coping with stress. Actually, as children, we knew how to cope with stress. When we were children, when we were stressful, we would just jump, run, walk. But nowadays, parents are so scared when their children run, jump, walk, so they just tie them in the room, seat belt, and then they give food to eat. Okay, tension mat lo, khao. But the child knows how to take care of the stress. The child knows he has to be active physically. But we think if you feed food, the stress will go. So we are destroying the Annamaya, and that's why people are not able to practice spiritual life also. I've gone through some experiences in the last 2 years regarding food, and I've realized that after a certain age, after 40, 45, 50, when you eat less, you become healthier. And there is a lot of kachra, a lot of garbage in the brain. And the brain becomes light when we eat less and we eat light. And spiritual experiences also are more profound when the stomach is empty. Not, see, again, you don't go to the other extreme. Oh, Prabhuji is advocating we should starve like Somalia, refugees. No, eat prasad, Krishna prasad. But common sense, Annamaya Kosha is important. We can't neglect the body. Our ISKCON devotees, we have to be very much concerned because devotees need good health so that they can serve Krishna. So Annamaya Kosha is very simple. And there are a lot of literature available. Now comes the most important, Pranamaya. So yesterday we discussed in great detail. So when Pranamaya Kosha is disturbed, what happens inside the body? What is disturbed Pranamaya Kosha? Digestion is not proper. What else happens? Sleep. What happens in the life air inside? It becomes disturbed. The life air is not flowing properly. The balance prana is not going. There is, like see, Annamaya, the foundation is Annamaya is pleasure, food. Pleasure is the driving force. Pranamaya is all about protection. The breath is yesterday we did this exercise of breathing. So this breath is prana. So when the pranamaya kosha is disturbed, we don't breathe properly. We breathe fast. I'll ask a very stupid question. How many of you breathe? Please raise your hand. How many of you are conscious of your breathing? Now nobody is raising hand. How many of you are breathing? Oh, what a stupid question, Prabhuji. You all are breathing. Achha. Are you conscious of your breathing? If you are conscious of breathing, then pranamaya kosha gets developed. Which means you are inhaling, exhaling consciously for some time every day. Otherwise, Sanatana Goswami would not have explained this in his Haribhakti Vilas, the importance of pranayama, the importance of breathing normally. We dismiss it. But without breathing properly, then our breath is shallow, then we live in fear, insecurity. Bhaya dvitiya viniveshatasya dishadapetasya viparyayo smriti. The 11th canto explains how we live in insecurity and fear always. And that fear manifests as imbalance in the air. So have you seen when you are fearful, insecure, stressed, your breathing is not normal? I'll ask a question. How many of you, when you inhale, what happens? Your stomach goes out or comes in? In? In. I heard someone say in also. In. So when you inhale, the stomach goes in, right? Out. How many of you feel the stomach goes out when we inhale? How many of you feel the stomach goes in when we inhale? See, for inhale also there are many votes. A democracy. That means we don't know how to breathe. As human beings, we are confused. Some of us feel when we inhale, the stomach should go in. Some of us feel stomach should go out. That means animals are better than us. Are you understanding where we are as human beings? Put your hand on your stomach and see what happens when you inhale. When you exhale, stomach goes out or in? Okay, when you inhale, when your stomach goes in or stomach goes out? In, again I heard in. So night time today when you sleep at night, you put your hand on your stomach and sleep and see what happens. That means it's a big, colossal tragedy. Human beings don't know how to breathe. That's why their prana is disturbed. Because their pranamaya is disturbed, they're always insecure. They're breathing shallow, fearful. They're growing up in a scarcity mindset. Everything is scarce. I have to protect. I have to fight. I have to defend. And even when we become devotees, we are in fighting mode only. Prabhupada's mission, I have to defend. He's deviating. Why did Prabhupada say this? Prabhupada did not say this. We become self-proclaimed conscious keepers of ISKCON. And we think, oh, he's a deviant. And we are always fearful. Why did Prabhupada say this? Show me the quote. Like one devotee, one very close friend of mine showed me an email he got. So he spoke something in a class. So there were 3 devotees who were very upset. So they wrote a letter. They told him that you are deviating from Prabhupada. He said, but Prabhuji, I love Prabhupada. You can't say that. No, you are deviating from Prabhupada. He said, no. Then they had a fight. They had an argument. So this group of devotees wrote a letter to the GVC saying that this Prabhuji is a deviant. So then the GVC appointed a subcommittee to investigate. And they heard of many of his lectures, and the subcommittee declared this Prabhuji is bona fide. This Prabhuji loves Prabhupada. He's perfect. He's very good. Haribo. So then those 3-4 devotees who had complained, that group of devotees, they got the subcommittee's report that Prabhuji is bona fide, so your complaint is rejected. And you know what they did? They wrote a letter to this Prabhuji. That time he was in America. And I also got that email because I am his close friend. So that Prabhuji forwarded that email to me. After reading that email, I didn't know whether I should laugh or cry. The letter was written by this group of devotees. You know how? Dear so and so Prabhu, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, you are a deviant. You are deviating from Prabhupada's teachings. And the subcommittee has declared you are innocent, but we know you are a disgrace to Prabhupada's mission. Right now you are in America. You are not in India, so please stay in America only. If you come to India, that will be the last day of your life. So in your best interest and to protect Prabhupada's mission, we are telling you this. Signed by your aspiring to be a servant of your servant. This is a classic case of Pranamaya question being disturbed. Gaur Gopal Prabhu shows me some of the, that YouTube videos, comment section. First comment, Makbul Hussain from Karachi. Subhanallah, great service to humanity. God bless you. And second, Joseph Rodriguez from Goa. I'm a Christian, but I love your classes. You are great. I love India and I love Prabhuji, Guruji. Thank you, Guru Gopal Das. Like that, the next letter from someone from Bangladesh. Congratulations. You are spreading the message of love for God. Thank you. And then the 4th letter by some Krishna Das or Gauranga Chaitanya Das or something like that. You are a deviant. You are dangerous and you are a disgrace, like that. So I see those you see on the YouTube videos, you will get a lot of appreciation, and in between you will see some very, very heavy reply. So I wonder who made this devotee in charge of protecting ISKCON, and his guru is pleased with him and he is doing so much preaching. But anyway, that's another subject. What I'm saying is, we sometimes think I know what is going wrong. This is all coming from a disturbed pranamaya. So when our pranamaya is disturbed, we see everybody as enemy, friend, dvaita. द्वैता भद्र भद्र ज्ञान सब मनोधर्मा, यही बाला यही मंद यही सब भ्रमा. So we see everybody as friend, enemies. We always see duality. अविद्यमानोऽपि अवभाति हि द्वयो द्यातुर्दिया स्वप्नमनोरथैवता. So the experiencer is an illusion because he's always seeing things in duality. The Navayogendra has explained to King Nimi. So our prana is disturbed. Just relax, breathe. Just like you go to the washroom and you flush and everything goes out. Similarly, when you slow down, all the kachra goes out. You feel peaceful and the prana becomes normal. So pranamaya kosha can be developed by simply slowing down, breathing, relaxing. Our devotees don't know how to relax also. They don't know how to relax. They think relaxation is a bad word. Oh, how can you say? Prabhupada said we should be working 24 hours. Prabhupada is to relax. Every day to take massage in the afternoon. Have you seen Prabhupada take prasad? Have you seen, you see on videos on YouTube? Very aram se he would take prasad. In Vrindavan, he stayed for so many years writing Bhagavatam. Every day morning, 3 hours, evening 3 hours, he would go for all darshans of temples, chant Radhe Radhe. He was a well-known Babaji in Vrindavan. The Sattva-guna lifestyle. But we say no, avyartha kalatvam, don't waste 1 minute also. But that we are misquoting, that avyartha kalatvam, not wasting even 1 minute, that is not symptom of sadhana bhakti, that is symptom of bhava bhakti. In Rupa Goswami's Nectar of Devotion, he gives sadhana bhakti and bhava bhakti. Sadhana bhakti is executive bhakti, what we are doing, that is practice. Bhava bhakti is effective bhakti, the result of bhakti is bhava. So the symptom of bhava bhakti is avyartha kalatvam, not wasting even 1 minute. But it is not a symptom of sadhana bhakti. We are using philosophy of convenience. What we like, we quote. So it is not fair. Devotees should relax, not whole day. Once in a while, little bit. Just you charge your body and then do seva. So the point is pranamaya. Basically, the idea is pranamaya. So if you put oil on the body, in the ancient times in Indian villages, they would do oil massage. The vata, the imbalance of air gets settled when you put oil on the body. Tilka oil, sesame seeds. So all these things are basic practices we don't know nowadays. We don't know all this, unfortunately. So that is pranamaya. So annamaya you take care how? Consciously eating, intuitive eating, not emotional eating. Pranamaya we take care by conscious breathing and not living in fearful mentality, always fearful scarcity mindset, overcoming those fears, doing affirmations, being with people who are abundance mentality. And then manomaya kosha. Manomaya is what? The world of the mind. Our identity is merged with the mind. So manomaya kosha is developed when we separate ourselves from our mind. So we used to say earlier, I am not the body, I am the soul. Similarly, we should also say, I am not the mind, I am the soul. Just like this watch is not me, the watch is different from me. Similarly, my mind is not me. Mind is separate from me. We'll do one exercise. All of you have something by which you can write, phone or paper. Where I will teach you one simple exercise by which you can practically experience right now. If you are willing, you can experience how you are different from your mind. At the end of this 5-minute exercise, you will realize that you are sitting like this and your mind is next to you, sitting. Imagine how you will feel if you can see mind next to you. Arre baapre, you talk so much. You can imagine. Imagine you can just like you are seeing your partner, seeing your neighbor, right, sitting next to you. You can see him, right? Imagine you can see your mind. How you will feel? Wow. The idea is you and mind are different. I and the mind are different. So how we'll do the exercise? Listen carefully. All of you have prayed to Krishna at some point of time, right? So when I say start, I will use the kartal. Listen to me carefully. Listen to the rules of the. This is very, very interesting exercise. So when I do like this, when I play the kartal, you will start writing a prayer to Krishna. Heartfelt prayer. Like, it could be something like this. Shri Shri Radha Gopijana Vallabha, I love you, I want to serve you. See, not artificial, right from your heart. Whatever prayer is there. Whatever your desires are there, whatever you want to tell Krishna, from your sincere most heart, you write. Okay? So as you start writing prayer, some of you may suddenly feel the prayer is not coming from the heart. You may feel it is mechanical, dry. It happens with you sometimes. While chanting also. Dry, ritual. I'm just saying for the sake of saying, Krishna, I want to serve you, but it is not. You know why you don't feel that emotion when you pray? Because that is not the voice of the soul. That is the voice of the mind. The mind is very loud, because of which, see, you are like this. You are sitting here, mind is on your left, and Radha Gopijana Vallabh is on your right. Krishna is on your right, mind is on your left, and you are in the center. And we are supposed to pray to Krishna. Listen to see this carefully. You are supposed to pray to Krishna, right? You and Krishna. But you are not able to pray. You are not able to listen to what Krishna is saying. You are not able to listen to even what you are saying. Why? Because this person here, who is on your left? The mind is talking very loud. Just like, these children are talking, you can't hear, right? Sometimes. So, sometimes in Guru Puja in temple, I have seen in Chowpatty, so loud, kartal, bumper, drum. That person is talking, I can't hear. Can't hear. It happens, no? So mind, imagine there is a. I think we are disturbing the children by our class. So imagine there is a 10-foot tall, 15-foot tall, huge man next to you. Huge. And he has horns, has big teeth, and he's shouting non-stop. And you are listening to him saluting, yes sir, yes sir. And that 15-foot tall, huge demon is mind. And we are only looking at him, we are not looking in the right side. Who is on the right side? Krishna. So what I am saying right now, write a letter means you pray to Krishna. But you are not able to hear, you are not able to pray because children are crying. The mind is shouting. You can't hear. So then what do? This is the most important part of the exercise now. Listen carefully. First, what is the first thing you will do when you are writing? First, you will write what? Prayer. But if you are feeling that there is too much of noise, because of which there is no clarity in your prayer, like children are talking, shouting, then you stop writing prayer, change the paragraph, and start simply writing what the mind is saying. Did you understand? Yes. But without any emotions. Because the moment you express emotions, oh, my mind is troubling me, that is again mind only speaking. You have to write like you have to see your inner world like a video camera is watching. When you are looking at me, you are thinking, oh, Prabhuji is going on and on and on. What is he speaking? I don't understand. You are judging. Does video camera judge? See, if I tell you what do you observe in this room, hall, what will you say? You will say, I see 4 chandeliers, I see 3 fans. That is observation. Video camera, it observes the room, it does not judge the room. You will judge the room, you will say, Prabhuji, it's very hot, it's very cold, it's very stuffy. I'm feeling uncomfortable. All this is judgment. Similarly, in the inner world, all judgments are voice of who? Mind. When you observe, like a video camera is observing, just observe what the mind is saying, then you will be puncturing the mind. Did you understand what I'm saying? It's very, very amazing. I've given a name to my mind. I call my mind in my journal as Chanchal. Chanchal is a very sweet sounding feminine name. So I say, so I write a prayer in the morning. Krishna, I want to chant very attentively today. And then I feel this prayer is not coming from the heart. So I stop. Chanchal is now saying, go and drink water. Now Chanchal says, go to washroom. Chanchal is saying, why you did not prepare for yesterday evening's class. Now Chanchal is saying, call up Gautam and Rajan Padia Prabhu. Now Chanchal, whatever the mind is saying, I just write it without judging. And at some point of time, you'll realize when you're completing the sentence, before you complete the sentence, mind has told 100 things. And then sometimes you forget also what you are writing. Mind has so much to say. And then you keep writing what the mind is saying, and suddenly the mind will go blank. Because mind is like a tantrum throwing spouse who is constantly, and then when you apprehend, the mind becomes, kuch nahi bolna hai. So when the mind becomes quiet, suddenly you will feel blank. That means what has happened? This person who was next to you shouting, what has happened to that person? He has kept quiet. So when he has kept quiet, what do? Turn to Krishna. Then continue writing the prayer that you wrote in the first paragraph. Write same sentence. When you write the same sentence, that time, the second time you write it, you will feel energy there. You will feel spiritual emotion there. And you can see the difference between the first sentence and the second sentence. And again, if you feel after some time, my prayers are mechanical, then stop. This is called awareness journal. Just write what the mind is saying. So what will happen when you do this exercise? What will happen if you do this exercise? What is the advantage of this exercise? You will be able to separate yourself from your mind. So then your manomaya kosha develops, because you are not identifying yourself as the mind. You are separate from the mind. Remember, we discussed yesterday, the soul is not the mind. The soul is not the intelligence. The soul is not bliss. The soul is different from all these experiences. It is Satchidananda. It is different from all the material things. To experience the soul, to experience at the level of the soul, we have to separate ourselves from the mind. And journal writing or awareness journal is the classic way of doing it. Can all of you do this exercise? Is it very complicated? Very simple. Just do it for 5 minutes. Okay? Your time starts now. Thank you for doing this exercise. You can try this later. In the mornings, I do this sometimes. It helps a lot. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, when it is undeveloped, Annamaya is all about pleasure. Pranamaya is protection, defensive. Manomaya is peace. Peace. We want peace, relationships, friendships, love in this world. So, in a typical ISKCON program, when we are very new, those who are at the level of Annamaya, if they miss a program, they'll ask you, Arey, today you went for the program? Yes. What was there for the Prasadam menu? And the first question you will ask. Those who are in Pranamaya, they will say, Acha, who had come for the program? You was there, Acha. They will always be looking for networking, making connections, or thinking of who is envious of me, who is doing politics here. Always living in a scarcity mindset, wanting things, trying to meet some gaps, filling some gaps. That is Pranamaya. Those are in Manomaya, they'll say, oh, I'm so happy in this Sangha. There's so many nice friendships here. I feel like home. There is so much love. Everybody is so nice. For them, oh, this program is very nice. He looked at me, he smiled at me. He didn't look at me, he didn't talk to me. Always in the mental level. Manoratena sati dhavato vahi. That is Manomaya. So that is Annam, Prana and Manomaya. So those who are in Manomaya, they are never happy. They're trying to be always chasing for some peace. their Manomaya is not developed, so they're struggling. That is their goal. And they're trying to make everyone happy, trying to get love. Vijnanamaya Kosh now is very, very deep. It is a level of existence where we focus on purpose of life, or we look at scriptures deeply. We start asking questions: what is life? What is death? Who am I? Has this question ever come to you? What happens after death? What will happen to me? Who am I actually? So these are spiritual questions. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He asked this: Ke ami, kene amar, jarat apatre. Grame vyavare kahe, pandita kari mani, apanara hita kichu hi na jani. Who am I, my dear Lord? I am a fool. Please guide me. That mood of wanting to know the truth. How many of us are interested to know the truth? How many of us are in ISKCON simply for social relationships? How many of us are here for getting Krishna, understanding the absolute truth? So if we are hankering to know the truth, then our Vijnanamaya Kosha is developing. So somebody comes to the program, by his questions we can know. By our questioning mentality we can know at which level we are in. What is there for menu? Prasadam means Annamaya. Networking, making connections is Pranamaya. And having nice, good feelings. It was a good feeling today in the class. Prabhuji said nice jokes. I was very happy. I felt good. It was a feel-good program. That is Manomaya. And if you miss the class and you say, what was the highlight of today's class? What are the main points spoken? What did you learn today in the class? That means we are in the Vijnanamaya. So Vijnanamaya Kosha develops when we start practicing Shravanam and Mananam, and we start reflecting on what we read and hear in classes. There are many people who do reflection, but they don't hear scriptures. That is simply mental speculation. There are many people who do hearing, but they don't do any reflection. That is simply ritual. Hearing without reflection is ritual, and reflection without hearing is speculation. We have to do both Shravanam and Mananam. We have to churn what we hear. That's why when people after the class, I don't ask them, what did you hear in today's class? I don't ask. I ask them, what did you learn today in the class? What did you learn means you have to think more, not simply hear. And then you can go deeper by asking, what can you apply in your life from today's class? Hearing is first step. After hearing, learning. After learning, applying. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. So we have to go deeper. Then Vijnanamaya Kosha develops. You are attending so many classes in ISKCON temple for so many years. But is your Vijnanamaya Kosha developing? Or it is simply entertainment? Speaker is coming, saying some jokes, funny shairi. Nice, maja aa gaya, nice prasad, very good time I had. ISKCON is a good place to go. No. Spiritual life means challenge, understanding deeper Kosha. Earlier times, people were provoked. When there are scriptural verses which provoke you, which tell you that get up, uttishtha jagrata prapya varanya bodhata, Kathopanishad 1.3.2, 1.3.14, Nachiketa and Yamraj conversation. The verse says, get up, wake up, embark on a spiritual journey. This is very difficult. It is like walking on a razor's edge. Great philosophers have said spiritual life is very difficult. So come in the path of spiritual life. And people would read this verse and they would embark on spiritual journey. Nowadays, if you tell people, run away. Now you have to tell them, no, spiritual life is very easy. Come, we'll give you prasad, we'll give you halwa, gulab jamun. Very, very easy. Then also we don't come. Earlier times, people were told it is very difficult and people would come to spiritual. Now we have to tell them it is very easy. That is how degraded Kali Yuga has become. Because scriptures are meant for those who are having developed Vijnanamaya Kosha. Now we are catering to people with Annamaya Kosha and giving them, so we have filtered on the philosophy also. See, earlier spiritual life was catch interested people. Now we have to create interest in people. And I know some preachers, they don't even do that. They have to cater to people's interest. Means that person is not even, you can't even create interest in him. You have to just cater to his interest. Acha, rona mat, ye kha lena prasad, be happy. So earlier, catch interested people, then create interest in people. Prabhupada could do that. Prabhupada could create interest in people. But now what we have to do many times, we have to cater to people's interest. He is not interested at all in spiritual life. So very, very tragic situation. So Vijnanamaya Kosha is not developed. People are so very difficult to preach. So this is Vijnanamaya Kosha. So how does Vijnanamaya Kosha develop? Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam means hearing, learning and applying. And the last and most important is Anandamaya Kosh. Anandamaya Kosh we discussed yesterday is in a state of deep sleep, for example. You are experiencing that oneness, but the deep experiences that you have, like in Kirtan, you are dancing, you transcend time, body. So, Anandamaya Kosha develops not by some activity. Anandamaya Kosha develops when we sincerely cultivate the mood of service. Because Anandamaya Kosha is the closest to the soul. Remember, we discussed Vijnanam, Ananda is like it is almost you. The soul, Anandamaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha is illuminating in the light of the soul. It is actually you only, almost you. So Anandamaya Kosha is developed when we have a mood of I want to serve. I'll tell you what is the science behind this. See, there is body, there is mind, and there is soul. Means in simple terms, body means body, mind means everything, intelligence, ego, mind, everything we are putting as minds. And soul is completely different. So at the level of the body, 99% of people in the society, they're only thinking in terms of I want enjoyment, right? I want pleasure, or I want food, I want pleasure. That is bodily level of existence. When you watch a movie, I want enjoyment, I want food, I want good experiences, I want pleasure. That is bodily level of existence. Some people, they realize this is very miserable. We don't actually get pleasure in this world. They say, then they give up this, they go to the next level, mental level. They say, I want love. Have you seen people? They're not really interested in pleasure and food. They're looking for love. I want love. In fact, when they hear the word love, many people immediately think, oh, somebody will love me. The whole idea is love is also like food. I want love. Somebody should love me. So 99% of the people in this human society are either in the mood of I want pleasure, I want gross food, gross pleasure, or I want love. These are the two levels in which most people are living. You agree? I want food, I want love. The problem with these two spaces that even if you get a lot of food, at some point of time it doesn't satisfy you because your capacity to enjoy is limited. And love also is like that. Even if you get a lot of love, you will feel you are not loved. Have you met people who are wondering, अरे इतना उनको सेवा कर रहे हैं, इतना प्यार कर रहे हैं, फिर भी they feel you are not loving, they are not happy. Mind will not be happy even if you get a lot of love. So I want food and I want love are both faulty premises. The third is most important. Soul. We are living at the level of soul when I want food. Level. What is that level? I want food. Jai Shri Radha Gopijan Vallabh Bhagwan ki. Shri Shri Nitaya Patit Pavan Gauravi Bhagwan ki. I want food is at what level? Body, Annamaya. And I want love, mind. I want food, I want love. Soul level is I want to give love. This is different. I want to give love. That is a game changer. When we want to give love, then we are touching Anandamaya. यथा तरोर्मूलनिषेचनेन तृप्यन्ति तत्स्कन्धभुजोपशाखा प्राणोपहारा चयतेन्द्रियाणां तथैव सर्वारणमच्युतेज्य. Fifth canto explained very beautifully. Just like we water the root of the tree, all the branches, twigs, fruits, and flowers are nourished. When we put food in the stomach, all the limbs of the body are nourished. Similarly, when we serve Krishna, when we have the mood of service, that's when we are also satisfied. So these are the five koshas we can develop. I will pause here for a few questions. Annamaya kosha develops how? Service. Annamaya kosha? Conscious eating, intuitive eating, not emotional eating. Pranamaya kosha develops by conscious breathing. Manomaya kosha, separating yourself from your mind. Vijnanamaya kosha, by Shravanam, Mananam, and hearing, learning, and applying. Anandamaya kosha develops by attitude of service, not simply doing service. It's not that if I do service, and there are some people I know they do a lot of service, but they're still not happy. I know one person told me, I will do service whole day, Prabhuji, but don't call me for class. I said, but this class is about Krishna. He said, no, I can do service, but I can't hear. I said, what is the service you are doing? Whom are you serving ultimately? What service you are doing in temple? Whom are you serving actually? Krishna. So you are serving Krishna and you are not interested to hear about Krishna. That means you are serving yourself. See, if you say, I love my wife, I love my husband, I love my family very much. I'm working hard whole day for them. Then it is your friend's birthday, it's your wife's birthday or husband's birthday. And people want to appreciate. And you say, no, I don't have time to hear. I can't hear. I will do work. I will work. But I don't want to hear any glories about my wife or husband. I'll keep working. That means you don't really love. That means you're working not for your lover, you're working for your own ego. If you really love someone, you will not only work for that person and serve that person, you'll also hear about that person. So the attitude of service is more important than just externally doing things. And that is what develops Anandamaya kosha. So anyway, I'll stop here. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya. Now, if there is any comments or questions regarding today's discussion, see, there is the attitude of this Anandamaya kosha living is a space of shelter house. I have spoken that in great detail in my book called The Inner Journey. See, there is, I'll just briefly tell you what it is. See, there are three sections in this book. First section is what is the heart space? Means inside our inner world, there are three houses: sense gratification, struggle, and surrender. So that surrender space is the home state, shelter space. So what exactly is happening in that shelter space, that Anandamaya space? And secondly, why we should develop this Anandamaya, why we should develop our heart space. There is a whole section. And then the last and most important, more than 150 pages, is about how to develop this Anandamaya, how to be always blissful and sheltered and peaceful inside. So I've explained this with a lot of examples, diagrams, case studies. Hopefully this book will help you. But I'm happy to now have some discussions if you have any questions regarding today's class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. First of all, I would appreciate, I've taken some lessons last year when we were here about forgiving and connecting it to a spiritual thing. I still apply some of those lessons. So I would From when you asked us to do that word exercise about moving my right, I blanked out. Everyone was writing, but there was nothing to write. What does that mean? Like, I started with a prayer, but then what is the mind saying? I'm not saying anything. It's a shut off mode. And that is one. And there are times that when I start journaling, it starts with mainly like a situation that has driven me to take shelter, and the prayer starts. And then it goes into that. So I want to understand both these aspects.
Mind going blank is good, no? I told in the beginning of the exercise what you should do if the mind goes blank.
But I'm not taking shelter. You said that it goes blank, then turn towards the prayer, right? I'm not able to go back to that prayer also.
See, it is like, you want, see things. I don't know if you have anything good practice. First time you don't get it perfect. You can't pick up a cricket bat and say that, okay, first I'll just hold the bat and go and score a century. You have to start practicing. Then you develop the skill. Holding a pen and paper and writing after so many years, we don't have practice, many of us. But we want everything to be perfect, clear, as soon as you start. Doesn't happen like that. When you start chanting, suddenly you don't get ecstatic symptoms. So writing is a way of connecting with Krishna. It may be a little difficult initially, but try, continue. That's what I'll say. Regarding your second question, I didn't understand at all what you said.
When you said you start prayer, the prayer is not like a natural feeling, right? A situation drives the prayer. A certain instance or a situation drives the prayer. Right? That's where we start, or it's just like.
No, a situation should not drive us into prayer. Prayer can be a culture. Prayer can be a practice. Just like it's not that when you fall sick, you do yoga. If you do everyday yoga, then you don't fall sick. If you're everyday praying, then you are not dragged into a situation. दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई, सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे को होय. You think prayer means I have a problem? Then I should pray. No. Prayer means just coming to Krishna, writing about Krishna's glories. We think prayer means I have a problem and I should tell that problem to Krishna. Prayer means Krishna, you are looking so beautiful today. The turban is very beautiful on your head. This peacock feather is looking so nice. Today the dress is matching so well. Krishna, you have these beautiful qualities. One of your most attractive qualities is you are very compassionate on your devotees. Krishna, you delivered Putana. Krishna, you are so kind to Shabari. So this is also prayer only. We don't think glorification of the Lord is prayer. We think Meri mange puri karo, that is prayer. I have so many desires. Krishna, you are my servant. No, you should fulfill my desires. That is prayer. We are Krishna's servant. We are supposed to, the servant glorifies the master. We are supposed to glorify Krishna. So that situation driving us to pray means we are very selfish. We are materialistic people in disguise. आज कमाल का ताना मारा मंदिर में भगवान ने. आज कमाल का ताना मारा मंदिर में भगवान ने. मांगने आते हो हमेशा, कभी मिलने भी आया करो. है ना? हम लोग हमेशा मांगने आते हैं भगवान से. इबादत तो वो है जिसमें जरूरतों का जिक्र ना हो. इबादत मीन्स प्रेयर, वर्शिप. इबादत तो वो है जिसमें जरूरतों का जिक्र ना हो तो बस उसकी रहमतों का शुक्र हो. We have to just thank him for the gifts he has given us. We don't thank him for the gifts. So prayer doesn't mean being driven by a provocative challenge or a situation. Prayer means, Krishna, I come back to you. Prayer should have 4 components. The last is request, asking. So you are thinking that last is the only element of prayer. The first is glorification of the Lord. Glorification is the most important in all prayers. Kunti Devi begins by saying, Namaste Purusham Padyam Krishna, you are the supreme Krishna of Godhead, you are expertly dressed like an actor. The devotees cannot see you are inside everything, you are outside of everything, you are friend of the fallen. This is all glorification. Second, gratitude. Third, repentance for the mistakes. Anybody here who has not done any mistake in life? Repentance is very important part of prayer. And then fourth is request. GGRR. Glorification, gratitude, repentance, and request. We have removed the first three and we directly go to request. That is why our prayers are not fulfilling, because when we glorify, see, just try glorifying Krishna. It appears very dry. Mind goes blank because we are selfish, no? We don't have a habit of living in Krishna's circle. We are only living in my circle. Three most important words in my dictionary are I, me, and mine. We don't know how to be in Krishna's space. So glorification is very important. Just like if somebody glorifies you, will you be happy? Be honest. If somebody comes and says, Mataji, मुझे ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, you will say, अरे मांगता रहता है. But ये व्यक्ति कितना अच्छा है. In this world also, glorification is very attractive. That song is there, no? Famous Bollywood song. तारीफ करूं क्या उसकी जिसने तुम्हें बना. तारीफ करते हैं तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है सामने वाले. So कृष्ण को भी तारीफ करना चाहिए हमको. Krishna, you are so beautiful. And then we dance in the kirtan happily, we smile. In Vrindavan, when you go to Nandagaon, when you go to these temples, the pandas, first thing they say as soon as you enter, Tali bajao, haso, ha 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 karke, they make you laugh. They say, you be happy when you come in front of Lord. When we go for deity worship also, before we enter the altar, we say, Jai Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath. We smile, we clap hands. We have to be happy, cheerful, glorify the Lord. That mood should be there. Then yes, in the end we can also say, Krishna, I have this problem. Please help me. But that should be like last. See, we have to go to Krishna when we have problem, just like a child will go to the parent. So we are not saying don't ask for relief from suffering, because we are all suffering. We all have our attachments, and attachments give us suffering. So it is natural. But we should also live in Krishna's space. I space means my problems, my worry. So like that. Is that okay, Mataji? Yes, Prabhu. Sorry, Balkishore Prabhu, you can correct me.
Couple of questions. First thing is, we said Anandamaya sleep. So if somebody keeps on sleeping, then
Oh, you were not there yesterday, so you don't know. Anandamaya is not sleep. I have to repeat yesterday's class.
So your next point is, so he started asking me, so I started writing. Then of course I got an answer when he said, I started pensively writing the prayer. Then my pen kept on going. And I realized somewhere my mind came in, and mind is so much pain. So mind is writing the glorification, but then I got it. Mind or heart? Then he said, the first time you have to. So
See, if you have so many questions, that means it is not the soul. Soul is a space of complete assuredness. The fact that we are confused means it is a mind. There is no confusion in the soul.
from first point until we landed out. He said, keep on writing the prayer. So I kept on writing the prayer. So at one point, when he said you should stop and you have to write out your mind.
No, only if you are feeling disconnected. I mentioned it very clearly. If you're not feeling disconnected, continue praying. Continue writing. Who told you to stop? Just write your prayer. Just write prayer. But if you're feeling disconnect from Krishna, then you stop and just write what the mind is saying. If you're not feeling disconnected, that means you're evolved, you're connected. Keep glorifying Krishna. Our problem is not everybody is able to pray coherently. If you're able to pray, that means you are connected to Krishna. Keep praying, no? Let it keep coming, the prayers. Give me a minute. If you are praying, continue praying. But if you are feeling I'm disconnected, I'm not able to pray, then stop, I said. That means you are not ready because your mind is shouting so loud.
The last thing is, he said his coaches will be developed. So even the role go beyond the coaches in this situation.
Yes. Yes. So how do you feature to yourself on the platform of the soul? What happens when you're on the platform of the soul?
Service. Then we'll see Krishna.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not there.
So when we take care of the Panchakoshas, we are able to serve. Why we are taking care of the body? Not to become sense gratifiers. Why do we take care of pranamaya? So that we can serve. Why do we separate ourselves from our mind? So that we can serve Krishna. Why do we ask questions and do reflection on the scriptures? So that we can serve Krishna. Why do we want to be happy in our devotional service? So that we can serve Krishna. But this developing these Panchakoshas will improve our service. Without the Panchakoshas being developed, then our service will not be sustainable. We will serve in the youth, but in old age we will take service. We will become a liability. Everybody will be serving us. So that is the important thing. Prabhu, you had a hand up. I didn't. You had a question, right? Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. I have a similar question you will Krishna Prabhu had. How do we know if mind is telling or heart is telling? You did answer a little bit that heart doesn't have a question, but how do you know that if mind is telling or heart is telling? The heart can also tell.
Mind's voice is loud, fast, and attached. The soul or the heart's voice is soft, slow, and detached. So it's like this. You are chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. The soul or the heart voice is soft, slow, and detached. Which means the heart, when you hear that voice which says, chant extra, temple all is nice, chant one more round. Somewhere, sometimes we hear that voice. But it is soft. That is Krishna's voice, the soul's voice, heart's voice. Soft and slow. And detached. If you don't follow that voice, it will not shout. Do it, do it. Krishna will just say once and keep quiet. But mind's voice is loud, fast, and attached. So you are chanting, mind will say, check WhatsApp. It's important you have to send a message to him. And you will say, no, I will chant now. Then the mind will say, no, check now, immediately. It is attached. Mind voice is always attached, fast, loud, harasses you constantly. That is mind speaking. The soul is soft, slow, detached. So that is a Paramatma's voice to hear. We have to become aware of the mind's voice. So we don't practice, we don't teach awareness only. Prabhupada told Tamal Krishna Maharaj, first become conscious, then become Krishna conscious. Become aware. So we have to hear the mind's voice. This is what the mind is saying. When the mind comes quiet, then we can hear Krishna's voice. So the inner voice, the real voice, can be heard occasionally. And even if we can't execute what Krishna or the heart is saying, at least keep coming back to Krishna. The more you come back, more you'll be able to choose Krishna. And more you'll be able to choose Krishna, one day you'll be able to capture Krishna. We want to capture Krishna like Mother Yashoda captured Krishna. But that is later. At our level, we have to choose Krishna over Maya. And some devotees, we can't even choose Krishna. No problem. At least come back to Krishna once in a day, once in 2 days. Come back, connect to Krishna. So then slowly we will know the voice is different. So most of us are only hearing the mind's voice. And we are slaves of the mind. Whatever the mind is saying, yes, boss. We just do what the mind is saying. And somewhere, sometimes Krishna's voice is there, but we just ignore it because the mind is so loud. If your husband or wife is abusing you, spouse is abusing you, you can go to police station, complain, you know, call what 911 in America. But which police station will register your complaint against your mind? My mind is troubling me. Nobody will register. So you have to learn how to handle your mind. Complain to Krishna. But generally, when we complain also about mind, it's a mind only speaking. Mind comes through the back door. So therefore, we have to learn to observe the mind without emotion. Just observe what the mind is saying, like video camera is observing. Then the mind, you can separate the mind. Then that real voice of the soul will come. See, even when you, sometimes, I have seen people say, Prabhuji, my mind was telling me this. I know what is my mind. Actually, they don't know. See, the mind has many voices. See, if you keep practicing awareness, you will realize that behind what the mind is saying, there is more things. There are deep-rooted anarthas. When you touch that anartha, you actually become peaceful. When you realize, you don't become miserable. It's like this. In London, I'll tell you, this is the way you can understand the mind. So I spoke about once non-violent communication, how to have communication skills. So I spoke about listening and reflecting back. So the Prabhuji told a nice story that he went home one day after work. His wife started shouting at him. What is this? You come late from office? You are supposed to come at 6 o'clock. You are coming every day at 9 o'clock. She started shouting at him. So he said, Prabhuji, my immediate response was to shout back at her because we had agreed that I will work 3 hours extra and she knows it. She had given permission and we had agreed that I will work 3 hours extra because we needed some financial challenges were there. She knows it. So when she was shouting at me that I'm coming late from office, she was being stupid and illogical. I wanted to shout at her, but you told us that just listen and understand. So I just kept quiet and I kept listening to her and I kept reflecting back. And then I realized the real problem was not that I was coming late from office. The real problem, she said, yes, you are not coming. Actually, this problem is in the kitchen. You're not coming and helping me on in the kitchen. In London, they don't have servants. Like in India, they have Kamwali Bai. So there, they have to manage. She started saying, you never come and help me in the kitchen. I have to clean up everything. And then he said, but Prabhuji, I got more angry because we had agreed that she will manage the whole kitchen and I will manage everything outside the house, the lawn, everything, the grocery, everything I will manage, but the kitchen is her department. So when she was shouting at me, that was also illogical and stupid. But still I kept quiet because, I wanted to reflect back because you said that sometimes the real issue comes up later. So I kept hearing and reflecting and then the real thing came up. After 15 minutes of all this, the real thing was the family was going to India every 9 months to 12 months. They used to go to India, 8 months to 12 months. But because of this financial challenges, now they are going once in 2 years. So she is missing her parents very much. So that pain and anger is coming out as you're not helping me in the kitchen. And that kitchen also issue is stupid issue. But that kitchen issue actually it came out as you are coming late from office. So similarly, when the mind is telling, when you realize, when you're practicing awareness journal and you realize the mind is saying something, actually if you continue awareness, you will realize behind that mind has something more to say. And if you continue to practice awareness, then the real thing will come up. And then when you touch that which is covered in the chitta, our antakaran is made up of chitta, manas, buddhi and ahankar. So chitta is the closest to the soul. So when you actually see what is there in the chitta, you become peaceful. When you see all your fear, insecurity, your childhood impressions, everything comes flashing, you become peaceful. You don't become miserable. You don't say, I'm fallen, I'm fallen. You don't say that. When you see Bhaktivinoda Thakur and all condemning themselves, that is at a space of soul. That is very pure bliss. When you say, I'm fallen, I'm miserable, that is mind only talking. Are you getting what I'm saying?
One thing take away from me, from my class, I'm not mind.
Yes.
Mind is separate
Yes.
person itself.
Yes.
Like that,
Yes.
the tall person is
Yes.
and if I get awareness of that mind,
Yes.
this tall person behind next to me, I think I can be more conscious.
Perfect. You got it. You got the essence of today's class. We'll take one last comment by Mataji and then we'll finish. It's 9 o'clock, so we'll take the last question.
Thank you very much. It was very clarity regarding the mind, us and Krishna. I have one question is, here we all are here to seek the absolute truth. So it might be like my question may be stupid is like, if I am seeking absolute truth, why is it important to know about myself here? Why cannot I spend more time in knowing about Krishna than learning what I am or who I am? Am I not wasting my time on it?
Yeah, you can focus on Krishna. You don't need to know anything about yourself. But then later on, don't complain. Don't say later on that, oh, devotees are doing politics, or devotees are not giving me seva, or they are. Then, if you're on that level, only interested in Krishna, then you should have no complaint at all. The fact that you have complaint, not that you have complaint, we all have. The fact that we have complaints, we have disappointments, that means we need to know ourselves.
So when Prabhupada says like self-realized soul, so talking about self-realized.
Before you go to that, did you understand what I said just now? Before you ask the next question, did you understand what I said?
Yeah, you said that if you are focused on Krishna, then you should not.
Then take responsibility for it. Don't complain. And be focused on Krishna. See everything as Krishna's mercy. That we'll not see. When our ego is disturbed, ego is hurt, we'll get angry. Then we forget Krishna. Then better to take care of your ego by understanding Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya. You're getting what I'm saying? Very important. Many devotees say this, just surrender to Krishna. Just talk about Krishna, Prabhuji. Don't talk about health. It's all Maya. We should surrender to Krishna. Then the same people complain later on. Oh, the authorities abused me. They made me do so much seva. Now my hand is paining. Now in old age, nobody is taking care of me. They say like that. So it is very, very, it's a nasha to say, I love Krishna, I'm Krishna conscious. It's intoxicating. But the ground reality is you need love, you need attention, you need to take care of your body, mind, prana. We are disconnected from reality. And then for us, Hare Krishna is not a medicine. For many of us, Hare Krishna is like a drug. We want a drug, we want a kick. And when we get that, we are happy. But Hare Krishna chanting is not a drug, it is a medicine. So medicine means you have to wholesome. Diet has to be there, lifestyle has to be there. But we want a kick. Kirtan mein maja aa gaya. Yes, I surrender to Krishna. Krishna, you're everything. Then their family life is disturbed, everything is disturbed. Then when they're getting old, they feel lonely. And they start complaining. Oh, what is all this? So take care of your Panchakosha. Know yourselves. Okay, what is the second question?
So, again, like we have books like Prabhupada books like self-realized soul. So how does this, that what we have learned, is in connection with the path of self-realization?
You tell me. Prabhupada, have you read Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter? Prabhupada speaks about Panchakosha.
Like in practical.
So, I want to know what you mean by that. 13th chapter, Prabhupada mentions about Panchakosha. So that's what I spoke to him. So what do you mean practical?
So like now when you talked about like we reached till I'm just telling what I understood. So we reached like to the Anandamaya where we are saying that it's a physical state and it is as closest to the soul like we are realizing seeing that soul. So for me I'm like okay, so next what? So that's where I got that.
I honestly didn't understand what you said.
So this connectivity of like Anandamaya from here, like how does it go to like connected to Anandamaya?
This is all Krishna conscious only what we are speaking today. What did Yugal Kishore Prabhu, what did we discuss? If you take care of your Pancha Kosha, you can serve Krishna better. What do you want?
I was trying to now I got
What do you want? You tell me. What do you want? What are you looking for?
No, I thought like it would be something like okay, you step by step process, like okay, you got this Anandamaya, now you got this soul, okay, from this soul, now we will go to the stages of bhakti from there, it will like some path like that might be bigger. I was thinking like that.
So what did you get from this class?
In order to serve,
What I'm hearing you say is that at the end of the 2 days, you are more confused than you were before the class. That's what I heard. That's why I'm like, I'm trying to understand what, that's why I asked you what you want. And then I can fulfill that.
now what I understood is like have a clarity like in order to serve Krishna, I need to take care of this concept Krishna so that I can be solid serving others and not create problems for others and be stable in path of Krishna.
Yes, that is what I wanted to say. We have a lot of immaturity in Krishna consciousness. We think I just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna is my servant, Krishna will take care of everything. We are supposed to be Krishna's servant. We are not supposed to make Krishna. We all come to Krishna and we just chant our way. We do eat prasadi recklessly. We do sleep late night. We don't do proper devotional service. We don't take care of our health, family, relationships. And then we say Krishna should do everything. Krishna is my servant, no? But Krishna has made a system. You follow that system. Krishna has made this system. The Taittiriya Upanishad is Krishna only has given us the Upanishads. Krishna has given us scriptures. Krishna has given us this lifestyle. We follow what Krishna has given. Then we'll be happy. You know? We can't just expect, we are like a spoiled child who is just pooping, vomiting, passing urine, stool, and like, mother should come and clean me. I will not grow up. I will not learn only. I will cry. So we cry. We think we are crying and begging Krishna for mercy. We are not following any of Krishna's laws. So that is very unfair. So we should take care of ourselves so that we can serve Krishna, not take service from Krishna. Earlier, when I was a new devotee, I used to chant Hare Krishna thinking if I chant Hare Krishna, I'll become peaceful. That was my agenda. I want to chant Hare Krishna so that I become peaceful. Because when I speak about breathing, pranayam and peaceful, people think, Prabhuji, you were earlier speaking Shuddha Bhakti, now you are not speaking devotional service. So they think I have reduced my Bhakti. So I tell them this sentence and I bewilder them more by telling them that earlier I was chanting Hare Krishna so that I can get peace. Now in the morning I do little pranayam and journaling by which I get some peace. So now I want peace so that I can chant Hare Krishna. So now whether I am advancing or not, you decide. Earlier I was chanting to get, now I want peace so that, so am I advancing? Maybe not. But at least earlier chanting was a means for me and peace was the goal. Now peace is the means and chanting is the goal. So our devotees have to understand that we are not servant. We are servant of Krishna. Not that Krishna should serve me and give me happiness, give me peace. That is my responsibility to take care of my health, my family, my job, my mind, my everything, and then serve Krishna. I'm happy now because my agenda was to disturb you. My agenda of these 2 sessions was to create some provocation so that you start thinking little more deeply about your life. So I'm happy. That's why I was telling you what do you want. I wanted you to say more, and I wanted to agitate. So I'm happy. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.